Hey, welcome back for day 2 of our week walking through friendships and betrayal. I bet you can't wait to get to the betrayal part. But before then, we got to build our friendships. Yesterday, I talked about how we are doing all of this kind of looking through the lens of the gospel. How does the fact that Jesus died and rose again for me affect what I'm experiencing, affect the way that I walk through this? And friendships is a great place to apply that. You really can apply that question to every part of your life, especially and including friendships. So yesterday I talked about how seasons of loneliness are normal and temporary, that you are going to go through them, probably not even just one time. There's going to be probably different times of your life where you'll struggle with that. And it's okay. The Lord's going to use that. There's a lot of good things that can happen during that time. But we don't want to stay lonely, right? We don't want to live in a permanent season of loneliness. We actually want to build deep friendships. And so I'm going to give you a few pointers today on how to build deep friendships. As I think about building deep friendships, actually a verse stands out to me. It's a couple verses together. Philippians chapter 2, verses 3-4 say, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interest, but also to the interest of others." And I want to tell you that the secret to building deep friendships is found right in the middle of that verse. It's not making it about you, not building the center of the friendship around you and your needs and you being the center of attention, you being the drama king or drama queen. But with humility of mind, look at other people as more important than yourself. And if you do that on a regular basis, what tends to happen is you attract people who have the same mindset, and that's where the real friendship can take off. So as you are learning people, as you are getting to know people, I just want to walk through a few different pointers that I have found have helped me build deep friendships. And some of them are things that I've learned from others over time. And I'll just be honest, I wasn't very good at this in middle school, wasn't very good at this in high school. Feel like I really started learning in my college years. And it's something that I still have to work on. So first and foremost, how to build deep friendships. First, get in the habit of asking questions and listening well to the answers. So a lot of times when somebody's talking to us, if they're talking, we're already formulating our story in our head and we miss what they're saying. Or if they tell us something great, then we feel like we have to one-up it with some other kind of story. And what I've found is the people that I really love talking to, who are really good at conversation, they're really good at asking questions and then really thinking through your answers. There's one particular family in our church that I think, like, as a whole, they're awesome at this. Their last names are Olsons. So if they're listening, I'm going to brag about you to the world. In general, the Olson family is incredible at asking good questions and just really processing your answers. And that's something like, man, it's so great to talk to them. And I realize they're quality people and I want to be around them more. And so that's something, just practice. Instead of, I've heard it said, instead of seeking to be interesting, seek to be interested. Try to be interested in other people and find out what makes them tick. Be fascinated about what you can learn. And then follow up with your friends. So you've asked questions, you've learned about them, follow up on the things that you've asked. And that shows that you actually cared about the conversation. That's a good step to building deep friendships. Next, celebrate the success of your friends, even when it may be difficult for you, and especially when it's difficult for you. So as you go along, you might be in competition for the same thing as your friends. I remember being on, trying out for sports teams, and I wouldn't make it. That was always the case. I wouldn't make it. I would have a friend that made it. Then there'd be other times where it's in some nerdy academic thing, and I would do well, and my friend wouldn't make it, or we would both make it. Or they would get a little bit better score than me. And, there was that internal competition, but at some point, learning to celebrate the success of the people around you publicly and in your heart, and realize that is no commentary on you. The only commentary on you is if you can't celebrate the success of somebody else. That really shows how little and how small you are. You not being the super achiever, you not, winning whatever the competition was, that's really not a commentary on your actual value and worth. But your inability to celebrate the success of somebody else who's done well, that's really a commentary on how insecure you are and how small you are. So just get in the habit of publicly and privately celebrating their success. Next, and this kind of can go along with that, don't talk or listen to gossip about people. And I know this is very hard. And I know that we all talk about people, right? Like that's part of the subject of the conversation is we talk about people. Gossip is when you start cutting them down, when you start building your case, when you start, really disparaging them. And what I would encourage you is don't talk the gossip, but also don't be a receiver of it. So you want to be one of those people that builds people up behind their backs, so that if you're ever caught talking about somebody, they'll realize, the conversation will be, man, they were really complimentary of you. They really built you up and really loved this thing about you. So it's really not hard to do. And again, it actually makes you look like a better person and a more quality person. And the more of a quality person you are, the more quality people will want to be with you. So don't talk or listen to gossip about people. And instead, like if you're going to gossip for good, right? Build them up behind their backs. Tell people what a fan you are. And if somebody tries to tell you something cutting and negative, just switch the story and be like, hey, actually, I don't like to talk about that, but let me tell you this awesome thing about them. And they'll get the picture and they'll quit pretty quickly. It's always good to remember if somebody gossips to you, they will also gossip about you. So be careful with that. And then finally, here's one that has formed the deepest friendships in my life. Do something good together. Find some kind of mission, some kind of service, something outside of yourselves, outside of your friendship. Do it together. My best friends, my deepest friendships are those who I have served alongside over and over and over again. There's just something special that happens when the Lord gets in the middle of the service relationship. So do something good together. So there's 4 pointers. They're all not about you. They're about putting other people over yourself. And these are great ways to build deep friendships. I hope you put them into practice. You should find them in the show notes. Ask questions, celebrate the success of your friends, build people up behind their backs, and then do something good together. Put them into practice. Let me know how it goes.